My name is Jason Ruth. I'm the co-owner of Harris Seafood Company. I've been the owner since 2004. Previous to that, I worked for the company, which was originally W.H. Harris Seafood. They started in 1947, and I started here in 1984 as a 13-year-old boy. Maryland oysters are prized. It has a beautiful meat that holds up well. It's cold water, very tasty, not extremely salty, but it's a great shucking oyster. If you really look back in history, there was 500 oyster shucking houses in the state of Maryland in the 1800s, and now there's 8 or 10. Not because there's no desire for it, just there wasn't a product enough to sustain it. To put an exact number on the amount of watermen we're buying from is pretty hard to do. I would say, being all the docks we have up and down the bay, from Chrisfield all the way up to Rock Hall and the Patuxent River as well, I would say that we're probably buying close to 200 watermen a day. We had a peak here where we were buying about 2,700 bushels a day. Here right on the Kent Narrows, diving is a big option, but as we go to our different docks in the bay, you get into the chop tank. We have a few power dredgers there, some skipjack then in Chrisfield area and Deal Island. In the wintertime, we're procuring about 1,500 bushels of oysters a day, and that comes directly from the boats. They either come right to our dock, or they come by pickup trucks and they bring us the product. We unload the boats immediately into refrigeration. That product is then stored overnight. We get it down to the temperature we want, and then the next morning we pull that product out. We take it into the hopper and watch it go into the shucking room automatically. And we shuck on a typical day in the wintertime from about 6 in the morning until 1 or 2 in the afternoon, generally producing 700 to 800 bushels a day just in that room. When the Maryland public oyster season is in, about 95% of the products that we sell here are from Maryland waters. When we go into the summertime, when our season is on in, we do use our leases quite a bit. It's more of a 50-50 ratio at that point. Currently, Harris Seafood right now employs about 40 shuckers. About 15 of those are local shuckers, the rest workers that we bring in for 9 months out of the year. Economic impact this individual company places on this, just the state itself, is pretty phenomenal. I mean, if you really think about, I think last year we purchased 170,000 bushels of oysters last year from the Chesapeake Bay waters. And at $40 a bushel, that's quite a substantial amount of money and jobs that we're creating. Along with the 40 shuckers we have 25 other employees that work for us, whether it be driving trucks or getting the product ready for the shucking room and secretarial. Quite a big impact. All the shuckers are paid either a prevailing wage, which is currently $8.60 an hour, which is a lot higher than minimum wage, or they get paid $1 per pound of meat that they produce. So an average shucker can make $15 to $20 an hour. The actual shuckers grade them in 3 different sizes: standard, selects, and counts. It's not necessarily dictated by the size of the oysters they're shucking it, but it's actually the meat that's inside of it, the weight of that actual meat in their hand. When they get a bucket full, they come to the skimming room where that actual product is dumped out. It's weighed up, all the excess water is drained off. Then once we get 15 gallon of one particular size, we put it into our tanks and rolls the oysters around, removes any shell and dirt that happens to be to it, and then the oysters are scooped out onto another skimming table where they're drained once again and then packed in containers for reshipment later. I've noticed that there's a tremendous renaissance, so to say, of oysters in general from all up and down the entire East Coast. But I would say it's been an exceptional focus right here in Maryland. People are really excited about Maryland products. And we have a lot of companies that we'll deal with in particular that want Chesapeake Bay only product, and that's it. That's all they care for. Maryland has a very, very promising future in the industry. From your boutique oysters to your custom shucking houses, and every aspect in between it, I see a very viable future in Maryland seafood.